ice cream or whatever. It's available here at Ambassador Park. Got down the track, and I do it kind of dances between 200 and 250. We were really up on top of that track and skating right along. Byron Dungy lays down a good run. Here he is, that window. Lee Swift, Cold Water, Michigan, calls it Mr. Thundermaker. I don't think he fully got into that throttle until he crossed about 150, 60 feet. He was running hot, there's no question about that, as he went screaming down the track, running very, very hard. Attack driver. Matt Siegel now chasing the 315 and 8 laid down to 5 Hot West 80. Easy weight from Green Flag. Want to make sure the top end of the racetrack is clear. Well, he was still in the throttle. Did not make any effort to get out of that throttle. He's a little hard on the trackside marker at about 150 feet. But, walking the brakes a little bit and started to kind of bounce back and forth, although he gets it handled and then brings it back under control real well. Buckeye Special, Richard Peters, set ready to go. Again, skates out the track, skates out the gate, running hard. Richard Peters, here again, 310 rules are in effect. Byron Dungy. Carlock, Illinois. Remember we saw him? We restarted the class, changed the race. Hiccup at 175 feet. I'm not sure he was either. Kind of a wild ride right there, and Vaughn Bauer with his hands on things if necessary to shut it off, but it never really got that far out of shape. Lee Swift set ready to go now. He's got to take it beyond 310 if he wants to come back and compete here in a little bit. He can do it. Straight down the track, skating 220, 225, and just skated right on out. He towards in the driver's seat. The Green Flag's high. He's got it driver's seat out of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Good battle in the iron. 4 laps in the super stock. And a good bit of driving right there as it started to get a little bit out of shape, and he pulls it right back. Walked that brake just enough to slide that around just like he needed to. Doug Allbach, the radical driver, with a good bit of driving there to bring it back under control. He claimed he had money in it. You can live with it. I think I can too. Red-headed stepchild set and ready to go. He's out of Bronson, Michigan. Jim Webb in the driver's seat. Gets himself squared away. Remember, we've got 3 out the gate. He's going to have to go out the gate if he wants to come back and compete with everybody. When it coughs and hesitates, you got to get on a brake because you're running awful out of whack, out of square. We need to get slowed down and run into mini rods. Starts to run back and forth, and that's where it gets very, very difficult to be able to handle things as they make their way down the track. Harry Zisler. The Green, Ohio. Further you can go if you can straighten that line out. He's going to be a little short of 200 feet down there, and I wasn't real sure at 80 feet if he knew which way the track was. He started off the side and hangs on to it real well. Gene's out there. Bowling Green, Ohio. Going some left to run, 2,000 pounds and roughly 2,000 horsepower. Yeah, that'd give you your horsepower to weight ratio pretty quick. Horsepower on Todd Bowman, the last of our mini rods. Todd Bowman's distance in just a second. This is Pat Jackman. Hang on, Pat. Started to get a little wild on her, and she gets out of the throttle, wisely so. Bounced her around a little bit. She's okay. I'm pretty sure of that. Patricia getting quite a bounce right there at about 175 feet. So we'll get it. Green flag is out. Jenny Horton. Well, he takes it straight down the track. It's not going to bring him anyway close to that full distance, but he goes straight down the track. Starts to get a little sways, but hangs on. Yeah, we did. I've never seen it done that way, but he did it. I don't know, though. Look at that cone. He's going to be close. Yeah, I know. Anything, we've got 3 beyond 300. And 310, we're looking at 310 rules applying right now. We got 3 of them beyond that. Heavy made 310.004, right? Mercy. Chasing 310 or better. If he gets to 310, he'll be back. Hang on, boys. Well, I'll tell you what, them guys are going for some rough rides down there now. They just keep getting faster and faster as they go down the track. Oh, no doubt, it's heavy. That's exactly what we're looking at right here. Philip Fairbanks, he's all right. Gets bounced around a little bit down there. There's no question about that, as you can see that. The Rat Boy is the driver. Takes quite a ride when Vaughn ends up almost a perpendicular to the track. Well, it's got a good run. He's the guy that's got the best ride in the whole ground. Oh, yeah. You ever done that? I've never been in a sled. I rode in a sled up in Michigan the other day, and this was just hot barn, okay? That's exactly what it amounts to. He just found a high gear about 175 feet, never let off. Never let off of that. And he's always one of, if you ever know, Bob's always one that kind of sits back, doesn't say a lot, but he's there. That's exactly right. He was right there, too. Interlink. Really? Yep. I didn't know that. Yep. And you'll recognize it when it comes out here in just a little bit. Richard Peters to the driver's seat. He's headed for 307. But he sure took a long, hard run. He was running strong. Running very, very well. Buckeye special of Richard Peters. One left to run, and that is Mr. Thundermaker himself. Leads well. You know that he is. Yeah. Leads well. Mr. Thundermaker, he's got to be 309 and 3. Is clear and ready to go there. He's all now in Jeff's hands as he eases into that throttle. Super stock diesel. The smoke will change color when he's ready to go. White, gray, and black. Watch him come. The smoking hot deer. Bounced pretty hard, about 205, 210, and came right back up, and didn't really look like he was that far out of shape. The Land Shark, New Albany, Ohio-based Kevin Comros, as he starts to build that boost up just a little bit, easing into that throttle. And Smoking Hot Deer laid down at 257. Power coming up. And a good job of driving at 260 feet. It started to get a little bit out of shape on him. He stayed with it and did a very good job bringing that under control and laying it down and parking it down there just shy of 300 feet. Kevin Comros doing a good job with the Land Shark. As he's hooked and set as soon as we clear the top end of the racetrack, we're ready to go. Scott Doty, State of Michigan. Bob Penn, the State of Illinois, here flagging for us this evening. And across the country as well. The green flag flies from Scott Doty as we look down the track. The red line fever, Mr. Edson Lane, Dayton, Minnesota. Power plant comes alive. Here he comes. Just about 16,000 in the box. I count 8 weights going forward at 2,000 pounds apiece. My math serves me correctly. Neighborhood of 16,000, about 8 tons there. That's moving in the box. The sled is capable of weighing upwards of 65,000, 68,000 pounds. In other words, anybody past 310 feet, we bring back for a pull-off. So we've got one out right now. Bob Lenzini lead down at 315. We may have a couple more. We hope so. Up and at 'em. Neil Gettinger in the driver's seat out of Hagerstown, Indiana. Power coming up. He's chasing at 287 and 2. Oops. Now there's a lot of things that could happen. Maybe he missed his gear. It may not have been in gear completely. Ready to go. Everything is zeroed. Neil Gettinger, the up and at 'em machine. Try it again. See if he made any improvements over what happened. It's hard to tell. There's a lot of things that could have happened right there. Not going to be tonight. Not going to be tonight. Now, what's the problem? We don't know. We need a tow vehicle on 287 and 2. 287 laid down by Kevin Comros. Another Ohio native on board the Land Shark, also a red one too, if you'll recall. This may be a red-green show tonight, but it'll be interesting to see how this all comes about as they work their way through a class of about 12 Superstock diesel. This one's all business. Roger Hurley. Power coming up. Beautiful evening for competition tonight, and it is showing in the way these vehicles are running. You can see at 200 feet it's starting to get a little rough on him, and it's tempting to stamp one brake. And he did a good job of figuring out what he needed to do to maintain the control that he needed right there. And he got that job done. Roger Hurley doing it. Joker starts to build power. He's into it. Just wasting any time. 215, 220 feet. And when that happened, it just kind of fell apart as far as his lead was concerned. He just, when it quits like that, you don't have anything else to do but back out of it. Ohio, running very, very strong. Tim Howell in the driver's seat. Just heard from our 50-50 drawing people. Lock and load driver, Steve Burge, line it up. Top end of the racetrack is clear. Bob Ben says, okay. Continuity says, I agree with you. Let's turn the green lights on, turn the green flags loose. Still looking at 287 and 2. 287 and 2 shows up on the board down there. Gonna come up a good bit short. A good bit short down there. But maybe not. And you stop and look at where the sled actually finished and where 287 is in reference to that, and still chasing 287 and 2. Shows up at the right hand window of the scoreboard at the far end of the track. And the power's coming up now as it gets the green flags on both ends. Jim Sheendorf, Radical Red. Run down the track. A great run, and I believe we may have established a new record. I wouldn't be surprised. Jim Sheendorf, Radical Red. Land Shark currently holding it to why we call it what we do, the wild ride on two wheels. They pick the front end up and take it down the track. Mark Wiederhold, the Bare Necessities out of Clarksville, Ohio. Pretty well balanced as far as the run down the track is concerned. Pick the front end up, set it back down a couple of times. If you were going to do it a little differently, you might want to lighten the loads just a little, but not much, because of the way this track is behaving tonight, you don't want to make any overt corrections that are going to cause a lot of problems on down the line. Mark Wiederhold takes it down the track and makes it look easy. 2 more to run in the Superstock competition. Keith Middleton and Instant Lean yet to come. And we still have the lady in the class to run in the mini run yet. Keith Middleton is there in company. Hang on, here he comes. When he finally got a hold of the track, it was a whole different ballgame, but I wasn't sure at 120 feet if he was ever going to hook up. All right, but he did finally got a hold of it, running real good. Keith Middleton, Wilmington, Ohio, the Deere & Company driver. Into it, set it down, takes it 297 and 1. Is in the lead. This is your last one in the Superstock diesel class tonight. track, and he made a good run with the Red Line Fever 2 out of Dayton, Minnesota. Esden Lane in the driver's seat. Port Recovery Man Boosters have the ice cream. Thanks, girls. Appreciate that. Ice cream and, oh, now when are you going to eat that? You going to eat that buckshot? If we leave that for Hartzell, I will. One that can do it as well. Jeff DeMere, Storm Lake, the Smoking Hot Deer. Power coming up. Four-wheel drives will be up next on the hillside. The four-wheel drives, you can see them over there lining up at the present time. They'll be our next class to follow. That class on the hillside and track. Power comes up. Here comes Jeff. Right down in the thick of things. Jeff takes that Smoking Hot Deer and puts it right in the middle of all that red iron that's been parked down there on the top end of this racetrack all the night long. We'll find out how he gets along. We're going to give away our 50-50 money here in just a little. When you start looking at Allison aircraft engines and listen to these thunders when they come down the track. He buys start close to the box roll. He's headed home to Stonington, Illinois, and he's got a good start of it right there. 1, 2, 3. Allison aircraft engines turning 1,710 cubic inches apiece. Take that times 3 motors and do the math. Then take each one of those cylinders times. So Steve Bowen's here with the money pit.
They reset the sled in the unlimited class, and he dropped to the bottom of the class.
Dave Snyder now with the Lensonville, Michigan. When the crew's ready, you may get a fire show. There you go. Looks like Dave hard on the brake. Yeah, he was walking pretty hard at 115 feet, real hard. No, Dave's is fighting tires on that tractor. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I was looking at some of the tires and some of the cut jobs that have been done on some of them as we walked back from supper this afternoon, or late afternoon. Definitely doing a little experiment. Right there, that's for sure. You can tell it because he just didn't have the momentum that he needed down track. Looked to be running at about 6 cylinders there. That's right. That's right. Wayne Bunny, Ellerville, Illinois.
Wayne Bunny's from 243.9.
It's out of the road. It's off the track. And continuity brings the green flag out. that left rear wheel was still turning. Yeah. Right rear wheel was not. Tough spot. Well, we talked about it. There was a potential. You heard something when they left the track before.
LD Nation went 174.8.
I think he lost the motor. I don't know which one it was. I was just looking to see if I could find real quickly, find out where he finished in the Enderley. Actually, I think... Bruce Slaw. He's now chasing
Randy Petro went 289.2.
Left-hand side of the scoreboard, left-hand window. Staring him right in the face. He knows what he's going to have to do as we look at less than a handful of drivers left for their unlimited class to run here tonight. Bruce was telling me he went back to his old setup. I heard that, yep. He feels more comfortable with it, that's for sure. Well, obviously it didn't work real well on his hand. I'll tell you where I want to go with this. Where are you going here, Tom? Well, the sassy Hemis, right, are classy. That they come up. The wild child himself.
Bruce Lee went 253.9.
You notice the rooster tail, dumping a lot of fuel, but you don't burn any parts that way. No, you take care of your parts by dumping fuel through. That's exactly right. Bob Joe Stock, Lapeer, Michigan, the wildest child.
Bob Joe Stock went 248.3.
So they can find out, not trusting their gauges, that puts just a little fire to it, look, see what kind of color it is. You can hear it spool it up just a little bit at a time. You cannot rush a turbine. You can't bump it like you can a piston at sea. Yep, had to get over here on the left-hand side, jumped on that right-hand brake to keep him in bounds. Yeah, and I don't think that left-hand motor was running like he wanted it. It just wasn't quite right as he came down fast. But he came down the track. Yep. While we're waiting on that basement, Alan, we were talking about some of the pulling action coming up down in Jim Boots' neighborhood. Right. We're going to be at the Brush Creek Motors. Since he fell down, the space right there.
Dave Snyder went 274.1.
First vehicle is clear, and he moves off. First vehicle goes down the track. He's driving again. Watching. We check both ends of the track. Got duty making sure things are clear. Bob man on the finish line end of things. The green flag jumps out for the general. 1, 2, 3, 4. come off the line.
Yeah, he did. Very, very strong. Got into the tire bouncer. That's not a good situation. And then
That's
actually
unusual.
the dirt that he was throwing up in the air could have caused that stall.
That's exactly right. But that's unusual for the tire bouncer.
Just not the same as the mini rod.
No, it just isn't there.
Gardner Stone went 272.5.
Kentucky.
Well, you don't do real well on 4 motors. Now when you got the 5-motor gear.
And
Have you seen that a lot this year?
Yes. Have you?
A tremendous amount of lower belts broken this year.
And they may have been new belts. They may have been less than 1 or 2 runs on them. These belts are coming apart. Nobody seems to know what the problem is. But yes, we have seen a lot wherever I have been. I don't know what the deal is. So you're right. Let's cool off a little bit.
And I guarantee they are super tuned for this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Dave Richardson went 195.6.
Gets the green flag.
Duke, gonna be a little bit short.
Don't think he got the job.
I don't think so.
It's going to be close, but I don't think so. When you've got 3 Allison aircraft, I understand when you got 2. You want them to counterbalance each other. You got the 3rd one. Which way do you turn it?
Got no clue.
I don't either, but we're going to find out. I'll have to find out some of these days. What do you... Welcome back.
Hey, it's been fun.
Yeah.
4-wheel drive time. Mike Fancy out of Arlington, Minnesota. Oh yeah, the 4-wheel drive. Mike Mankey nails it out. Now here's the test part. Also, they will be looking at the sled setting this time around. You know, that's an automatic. That's a given.
That's true. Tell me about Valparaiso next
They
week.
reset the sled in the 4-wheel drive class.
I'm going to be in Congress.
I know.
And Larry's going to be right down that track at about 300 foot, it looks like.
Did you explain the 310 rule? Well, we kind of glossed over. We kind of waited. The 2 of us could sit here and visit about it because it does. It takes a little explanation. Really, it's not complicated when you have it laid out in front of you.
No. Hillside, Ron Newell out of Lipstick, Ohio, the temporary insanity Chevrolet. Ron, a past qualifier for the Enderley, here this weekend as a competitor. Obviously, didn't quite make it into the regional this year. It come down to him and Tom Worth, and as it turned out, Tom Worth represented Region 2 very well. The young man out of Big Rapids, Michigan.
Jared Peterson drop going to come back last in the class.
And ladies of the sled. And many of them are starting just right in the center. Now, from your advantage point, as you watch the first part of the classes, they were pretty well centered up on that track, weren't they? Or over on the left-hand side. We got our placings for the mini rods.
Ron Newell won 293.2.
As soon as Rob makes his run. Robbie Foster, the Simply Red Chevrolet. Rob tried something, got over here on this left-hand sideline. May work, may have worked. Yeah, he's going to be close. Oh yeah, he's going to be down in there, that's for sure. Mini Rod. Placings from fourth on. Larry Kester, the number 4 position. Mike Everett, agitated again, finishing 5th. He learned every time he went down the track.
Rob
here.
Foster won 298.6.
He and his wife, Jennifer, the 2 kids, Michaela and Hannah, the daughters, they worked very hard at campaigning this truck. And this is where hard work has paid off. You know, it pays big dividends, and Tom Worth has earned that as he won the Enderley here tonight. That's right. 1995 Chevy, 642 cubic inches of naturally aspirated Chevrolet power. The After Hours Tom Worth. Past. There's about 5 weights in the box itself. 10,000 pounds is all we're moving there compared to what we were talking about earlier with some of the other classes. But when you're talking about a 6,200-pound naturally aspirated motor, as opposed to what we were talking about, super stuff. That's exactly right. 309 and
296.9.
3078. Randy Nelson, the family affair out of Jacksonville, Illinois, coming up next. He's only running on about 6 cylinders out there. Randy Nelson, the family affair out of Jacksonville, Illinois, the 650 cubic inch janky power. Obviously the moisture is setting in here tonight. Could be causing some problems.
Randy Nelson went 276.0.
Off a lot slower than I was expecting. I looked for it to come out a lot harder than that. He didn't. It just didn't come out there. No, you can do that. That's your class. I was just going to talk to him a little bit. We're going to talk. Well, he's got the mic right here. I know what it weighs because I've been told, but I don't know what it's made of.
Mike O'Connor went 274.7.
Yes, but I mean the cast. I said we're going to have to find out. I need to ask. We can ask them. Because I know they always talk about, you know, the Ford Oval weighs 1,000 pounds. Yeah. And it looks good. And you know, I happened to notice that when we were doing the 4-wheel drive class with Carol Suki's tried. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay. Norris owns a machine shop by trade, totally gear and drive train sponsor machine. You know, pullers get into this sport kind of weird once in a while. His daughter married a puller. Pure and simple. So here he is. I can see it, can't you? Yeah, I can see the driveline kind of looping around in there. Yep, came out of that transfer case. Yeah. Outside of the transfer case, we got a little problem with it. Look at this. Now you talk about rubbing salt in the wound. You guys ought to be ashamed of yourself down there waving that flag. By the way, you know, we ask about...
Lawrence line
So
with
Jim Booth
148.8.
out of Pittsburgh, Ohio, the Buckeye Shaker. Actually, Jim owns a trucking company down there. Spent several years out of pulling. As I said, this year he's just hitting and missing. That's right. We're going to be going down into his neighborhood coming up here in a couple, 3 weeks, down to Peebles, Ohio, to the event down there. Right in Jim's backyard. I didn't know if we're looking four-wheel drive or not, but we'll be down there. Quite an event. Jim Booth, the Buckeye Shaker, has the green light and the green flag. 6,200 pound four-wheel drive. Well, he might be down the track enough to take the lead. He had to go better than 298 feet 6. I'm not going to call it this way either. How about it, Major Crew? They're saying yes. Saying yes. They're saying yes. See, they're getting warmed up now. Yep. Well, tomorrow's the big one. I mean, they got Mopar Performance sponsoring the machine.
Jim Mootsman 301.7.
There's another little storyline here. They were involved in mud and sand drags. Got a little board? I've never seen any. I've never seen any of the sand drags. Mud drags I'm acquainted with. I've never seen the sand drag. Well, I understand, and especially up in Michigan, they go out on the dune. Yeah, on the race. Enough to get in there, but I'll tell you something we want to look a little bit for here. I'm noticing a little bit of bounce in the four-wheel drives over there. I am too. And one of the things that we've seen this year in that division is some of that. We've seen it quite often. The guy jumped into pulling about 1995.
Todd Grossman 292.6.
Right? And does a good job of wheeling the four-wheel drive. Absolutely. Absolutely right. We'll talk about here in just a few minutes what LG is going through right now. Debbie Sebastian, the next race. How about it, Major and Crew?
Debbie Sebastian had a full pull.
I tell you what, if he's traveling with Mr. Peterson, and I think he is, this young man could be in for a real treat. Yep, that's right. Eye-opening experience. Saw this one run once before. Yeah, he's not running. Yep, Mark Mankin and the Z-Bag. That's what those driveline loops are for. Yep, that's what holds everything in place. And he had a nice run going. Oh, he did too. It's that drive shaft, so it doesn't take off across. How many times, years and years back, have you and I both seen? Frustration.
Mark Mangan with 183.1.
Oh, you got your glass. Can I borrow your glass? That's right. Calls it frustration, you bet. Yeah, I thought he was going to get a little bit of bounce, but the trucks are starting to settle down pretty good, it looks like. That's right. I can see it as we were from this angle looking at it, you from the other angle. Between about 85 and 130 feet, we're starting. Tom Worth and the entry level right in practice.
Dave Clausen with 300.7.
Right now. Look for big things out here. Chris Colbott of Oxford, Ohio, the Menace truck. This is probably the smallest motored four-wheel drive out here, 500 We'll see what he has to do. Put the power to the ground is what it's all about. Now, did you notice something? He did a good job at driving out of that. But when he was down there at about 200 foot, 150 to 175 foot, all four wheels were bouncing. Yep. As that sled got heavier on the back of that rig, the front two wheels bounced, the back two wheels did
Right
not.
down. And he stayed, that's a tough decision right there.
Aspirated Pontiac power here in the combo. Actually, probably Pontiac Oldsmobile or Pontiac
Chris
Chevrolet.
Copeland,
You know, they
280.7.
like those heads off the some of the different motors, the different blocks, and moving air. That's what it's all about.
That's right, that's right. You got to be able to flow that air through it to be able to develop the power that you need.
Rob, an electrical engineer by trade. Toma Equipment and Pioneer Plaza and Coors sponsoring the truck.
Once again, this poll brought to you in part by the Second National Bank and Beauty First Bank and Trust, both of Ford Recovery. And don't forget all the businesses. So piston engine's yet to run.
Yep. So Scott Smith has the green light, the green flag. That bounce obviously cost him out here tonight.
But the track smooths out at about 170 feet.
But by that time, it's too late.
Yeah, that's right.
Heavy.
You've lost your momentum.
You are not going to bring it back at that point in time. You got to feather it out of the hole. Hopefully you get out to about 100. That mark of 310 feet to get into the pole.
That's what it's going to take.
Well, not necessarily.
Yeah, but 310 was guaranteed.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Right out there at about 125 foot or so, I heard a little bit of a blurb. That's not good. I'm owning a convenience store truck stop.
Charles Sickey with 290.2.
And Precision Auto Body sponsor machine. Scott Phillips.
You can see him kind of wishing he could get through.
Oh, yeah, but he knew he was beyond 100 foot.
That's exactly right. Please see, Zeller Unlimited class come out like this. Randy B.
It's going to go on.
You're right there. 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we get underway with the elderly classes. Heavy super stock.
Scott Phillips with 298.6.
Two-wheel drive and super modified Ford. All tomorrow afternoon at 1.
Awful ugly rides in the front of sleds as far as bounce goes, but it kind of straightened out.
That's right.
Pump right in there.
Tomorrow afternoon, we'll also see the elderly classes, the mini rod competition, the four-wheel drive, as well as the modified all Grand National.
Yeah, the barnyard banshee.
Right.
And he called up to my store in Cathopolis and he said, what's the weather up there? Well,
Jeff Schaefer went
obviously it wasn't raining that day, but they had
297.5.
gotten like 8 inches that night. He didn't know whether to come or not. Todd Jarvis, the young man I was telling you about out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. 640 cubic inches of Chevrolet oils on the Chevy body. year of pulling. First year. And he qualified for the Enderley. You know, we got to reminisce, and I did a show out there in the Buck here a few years ago, and I was thinking about it coming down here today. Bill Weinberger and I took off in the car, and we needed to find an opening. Okay, so what did we do? We pulled into an Amish barnyard. Yeah. Got in between two draft horses. And you're deer blind than you do in your living room. Okay, so Randy is teasing us down under the troll.
Todd Jarvis went 291.7.
The bridge. So Randy Kleinkamp, the old Yeller Ford, like nothing more to put it out beyond 310 foot. Coleman Racing Products, Pizza Hut, and Performance Pros sponsored Randy this year. I understand he did a Pizza Hut display up in Toma. Yeah, that's going to go a couple days early to set up. Yeah. And there's no jealousy between them. That's the neat thing about the whole.
Randy Kleinkamp went 299.5.
So their wives help out a lot. Right there, making sure that everybody's happy. Yep. You know, it's kind of tough to do. Next Friday night, we'll be up in their neck of the woods, right? Wasion, probably about 3 or 4 miles from home. Yep. Nice hometown event. They invited you for supper, I suppose. No, not yet. We're going to be busy. Look at the Chevrolet fans. Look at waving the flag. The 4th place Chevrolet. Not good. Not good. Something let go in the drive line, and I don't believe it was in the drive shaft. I don't think so either. I think it's a little worse than that. He was still spinning the front wheels. Yep. That would seem to be... We've been off part of drive lines tonight. Yes, we have. Very much. And I'll tell you what caused it. The bounce. I think that's true. There's no doubt. If you start to work that hard, and tolerances are that close, and when they get to bouncing like that, the frame gets the... If he's given up about 300 to 400 horsepower and able to still run with it, yeah, very, very strong there. Actually, I had heard good things. We were at an event up in Michigan, and Ted and Sandy Coverdale were there. Oh, okay. For the 2003 pulling season. So Brad Chapin waiting on that green flag to fly over the 300-foot track. Bob Min and Scott Doty out there, the flag judges tonight, have that flag. The Hog Modified 4-wheeler. Putting the power to the track efficiently. That's right. That's exactly what we have to do. Take it down the track. Did you explain naturally aspirated by chance? No, I didn't even get it. You know, Randy, did you have a motor go down in the Enderley?
Brad Chapin went 278.7.
Throttle linkage come over. It's really something stupid. I really thought we had 2 motors go down the way and nosed over so bad, but it's just one motor. We got such a gear in it, it won't pull it. One motor goes down, she just really noses over. Well, and that's what Alan and I were talking about. You guys are set up for that 6-engine gear, and it just doesn't run good on 5. So we kind of thought so. It sounded like it went flat. Randy Petro, multi-chaos. Mike Mankey out of Arlington, Wisconsin, the foolish farmer.
do this for
Not a bad run for Mikey. Now, you notice he was over on the other side of the track.
That's what I was just going to bring up. He actually started to pick that right-hand side of that track a little. Flow products, tow, gear, drivetrain, CRB machine, and many high flow injectors, as well as ProFab. You know. So when you're looking for high performance, think about these people, our contingency sponsors.
Don't think he quite got there. Looks like the measuring crew. I can't see him. Can you see him? Saying no? Okay.
That's what they're saying. Somebody else we want to say thanks to? The man that we named this whole weekend as Kid Enderley.
Basically held up pretty good for that many vehicles on there.
That's
Larry
exactly
Peterson
right.
went 298.6.
Thanks to Scott Doty and Bob Ben for being flankman tonight all the way around. Tim Thomas has been in the seat of the Patriot.
What, Hager just kind of watching tonight or what? He's getting ready to go up to minor digs. That's what he's
there.
Well, Jim, give it a good shot. That's going to be the mark to beat. You know, he's got the big bullseye on his back right now.
Yeah, he sure does. Placings in number 4th position. Three Bears, Scott Smith doing the driving. Randy Klinkamp finishing in 5th place with a 299.555.
The pull off Jim Moose went 293.1.
Yeah. She didn't get there.
Did not get the job done.
293 and 1 was.
We do appreciate that, sir.
Side did a good
Debbie
job.
Sebastian went 290.9.
Full-time job for Side. That's why he's not coming back tomorrow, and he's going to send Greg back. In unison.
Yes, they did.
And what a good way to finish.
Oh, yeah. Save the best for last.
You betcha. You betcha. Thanks to Tim Thomas, our sled operator, Vaughn Bauer tonight on board. Scott Doty, Bob Ben, Larry Rich Ryan, making sure things are more or less trying to happen. Some semblance of an order. We're not sure what that order is yet, but no, don't ask.
No.